And welcome to another episode of Golden Heart Pirates of the Lounge. I am your Captain Waffle, and we've got Ryan Riley, or R2, the owner and head of Trancesession Radio, here with us today. How are you doing today, Ryan?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. I am glad to hear you're doing well. This is a beautiful adventure. So tell me a little bit more about yourself. Tell me about what you do.
So I co-founded and co-owner of Trancesession Radio. Also co-owner of Transcend Events, which is our live events where we go out and do shows.
Oh, I miss doing shows.
We've done some on Grove Plaza. All our shows are free. We don't charge any prices because that's not what we do. Music's for the people.
It is all about the music, right?
Yeah. And so we've been doing this adventure 3 years, James and I together. And it's been fun.
I'm glad to hear. What got you, what was the inspiration behind it? What made you guys want to work together to start Trancesession?
So James moved to Idaho from Australia, got a job transfer here, and he was big into the trance music down in Australia, throwing events, doing the same thing we do here, but on a bigger scale.
Right.
And he showed up at Crowbar, our last night with Christina Sky, and he was introduced to me by some friends, and we've just
Fast
ever
friends
since.
clicked ever since?
Yeah.
That's good. That is definitely good. So when you guys started this, what was one of the biggest obstacles that you had to overcome?
Turning America, especially Boise, into trance music. It's not big here in the United States. A lot of people love psytrance, but when they get into the uplift and the tech and the vocal trance, people are more like, I've never heard of that. So,
That's fair. It's broadening people's horizons and showing them new musical tastes, for sure.
Definitely.
So since we've been locked down because of COVID, you guys have gone more towards the live stream aspect of things, right? And I know you had Trancesession Radio set up as a live stream broadcast beforehand.
Yeah. We're 115 weeks into that, and actually longer because we took 7 weeks off for COVID reasons. But yeah, we started as a live stream while simultaneously broadcasting on Radio Boise from the studio. Our time with Radio Boise came to an end, and we just continued on doing the live streams.
Have you had much success with it?
So between our two pages, we have about 30,000 followers. That's worldwide, which doesn't seem huge.
But 30,000 is still a lot of people.
Yeah, and like I said, we're only a couple years into this. So
it definitely takes time to build a baby like that to be able to send it out. And you guys have your own merch and everything set up as well, right?
Yeah. We have another page called Heart Trance Music. From there, we have 40 plus designs on our page.
All right, fantastic. Well, definitely check out Heart Trance on the page. We'll have some links posted in the description down below. So be sure to check them out. Definitely take a look at what they've got. Some amazing music, and I'm sure some amazing designs as well.
Yeah.
Going back to the whole event production side of things, though, having thrown a bunch of free shows in Boise, what's been one of your top 10 memories of that experience?
So top 10 memories was actually when we played on Grove Plaza. There was just the organic reach of people walking by all day long and all night long, seeing what we were doing, checking it out from afar, coming up close, grabbing cards or flyers or whatever we had out for them, just engaging with people that would normally not be part of the electronic music scene.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've gained a few fans and probably turned some people onto some great music that way too, right?
Yeah, we did. We've gotten quite a few people to come back to other shows that we've thrown
That's
at
fantastic.
various bars.
That is fantastic. So then once all of COVID and everything dies down and we're able to go back to partying and having fun, what's the plan for you?
So definitely get back to work, which is going to be great, but back to throwing shows. We've had a lot of people locally message us, and they're like, we want to see live show again.
Right.
So
I think everybody's kind of hurting for it at this point. There have been a few events that have gone on that have been just kind of they're a little lackluster due to everybody practicing proper social distancing and having to wear masks inside and having the enforced behavior of it, which definitely creates an interesting intrinsic environment, especially for those that are a part of the rave scene or the music scene.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely a lot more tight-knit, a lot closer, and people dancing and being, super close packed on a dance floor, which is something that I definitely long to see. I miss it so much.
Yeah, and even if it's not just in our scene, just seeing bars and clubs in general being able to have people on their dance floors, it's going to be great because music is the key to the world, and to see DJ shut down and bars shut down and clubs shut down or not being able to perform, it's hurting them and it's hurting people that want to go see it.
Definitely, definitely. Let's talk about a little bit about you as a producer and a DJ, though. Do you have any of your own original tracks?
I don't.
Not quite yet?
Nope, producing is still a baby to me.
It's okay. It's one of those things that it takes time to learn, and once you get to it, if you get to it, I'm sure that it'll be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, especially with trance. It's very complex.
There's so many places that you can go with it, too, which is a beautiful aspect of it. Well, then, as a DJ putting out music and mixing for people, who are some of your inspiring points? Who are some artists that you look up to in order to be able to project the image that you're trying to create with the music that you purvey?
So I take a lot of, I guess, points from like Key 4050. I know it's cliche. Everybody loves and hates Armin van Buuren, but he builds his sets just to make them emotional and build them up. Get people happy, then bring them back down, let them calm down a little bit, and then build that emotion back up.
Right. It's that aspect of musical storytelling.
Yeah.
Being able to convey an entire set of emotions over a period of time to your audience to get them feeling all the feels that are embodied in a lot of those songs. Yeah. What got you into mixing then?
So originally, when we first started this, it was just me and James, and James was the only one performing, mixing, and it came to a point where I wanted to learn and just to help him out, relieve some stress off him, and so he taught me, and I had like 3 practice sessions with him, and then I went out and did a set.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's best to get out there. How else are you going to learn what you're mixing and how that impacts people that are on the dance floor unless you're doing it?
Yeah.
Unless you're actually sending it, seeing what makes people dance. Because, I don't know, there's some music that I listen to that I'll dance to and I'll enjoy, but I'm not going to say that other people would enjoy it quite as much.
Yeah, and a lot of people tend to stick between either like 70 and 90 BPM, the deep dub, or the 120, 130 range, where I'm coming out swinging at 140 to start. And so a lot of people are like, wait a minute, that's fast, but it's danceable.
It's definitely danceable. Definitely danceable. Throw in some shuffle step, have some good times, like just bouncing around, have good energy.
Yeah.
It's a great time.
And that's what I try to do. Like if I see a crowd's not moving or doing anything, then I'll start just jumping around on stage.
Right.
And I did that at Thump. I got to play for Thump once, and the platform I was on, it just felt like I was going to fall through the floor. Like I was bouncing so hard and holding onto the decks. I'm like, okay, I need to not do this. It's hard.
Fortunately, those boards are pretty steady. I've definitely been up there on that stage performing a few times, and there's a couple of points where it bowed in, and I was like, all right, I know it's going to be fine. I'm just going to put faith in the universe that I'm not going to crash through the stage and create a kind of hilariously embarrassing moment. Where did he go? Suddenly just like disappeared in. That would honestly be kind of a neat trick, though, just to disappear in the middle of a set and nobody saw you walk off stage.
Like, wait a minute.
Music's
still going.
All right.
But yeah.
Well, that's definitely some good points. Being in the field that you're in with producing events and mixing music, it's something that takes a lot of passion, a lot of effort. What keeps you motivated?
I mean, really, it's just music.
Just music?
Like, I just want to share my music and what I've created for other people to hear, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't.
That is definitely a valid point. That is a valid point indeed. Then another question that I have. If someone were to want to get into mixing music or to be able to create an environment for themselves or their friends in order for them to be able to enjoy music together, what would be some advice that you would give for them at the start?
Just being able to focus on where your beats are, being able to count your 4, your 8, your 16, and your 32s with people yelling at you or coming up and talking in your ear. Just not losing focus.
Right. Being able to keep a laser beam focus on what you're doing while still being able to understand and react to what's going on around you.
Yeah, and it was definitely hard when I first started, which is why I'm glad I did it in a studio environment. But that, like, my first show played out, I was so nervous.
Nervous?
Yeah. And then the Thump I did, I went into that completely sober, and I don't remember the night. It was just the adrenaline
anxiety
rush.
out of 10.
Yeah, anxiety.
All right. And I feel that that focus remark, though. I definitely feel that because ADD brain goes squirrel.
It does. It does.
It definitely
I've
does.
had it happen.
That's the best part, though, honestly, is when you're in that moment and you're like, oh, wait, focus, focus, focus. I don't know. I tend to look at things that it's best to greet the world with enthusiasm and with childlike energy, with adult-like focus. Be able to have that same reaction to like a kid getting a ball thrown to him and still be able to nail everything down like you're filing taxes. And that way you just have the utmost ability to be successful and still have a good attitude and a good energy about it. And especially with being a performer on stage, as a DJ, as a producer, is really anything that's anybody that's on stage performing in front of people, being able to share that energy with your crowd. People react not only to the music that you're playing, but the energy that you're exuding.
Yeah.
And if you've got a smile on your face, if you're jamming out and having fun, like you're having a one-man dance party up on stage, everybody's gonna be dancing with you.
Yeah.
And that's honestly one of my favorite things to see.
I mean, not only are you responsible for playing good music, but you're also kind of responsible for keeping it alive. Because if you play a song, you walk off stage, everybody's going to be like, okay, well, we don't need to pay attention to this.
Yeah. It's just background music at that point for people to have conversation to.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you want to do that, go to a nice like jazz club or a bar or like somewhere where you're going to be, just sitting and chilling, having conversations, not, dancing your butt off, having a good time.
Yeah.
100%. Well, that leads me to my next question then, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
If you could have a pet dragon, what color would it be?
I mean, typically everybody sees dragons as green, but I would like it like a darker green, like almost black.
All right.
With some green accents.
All right.
Just because the dark force and then the fire.
All right. Would it have green fire breath or would it have acid breath? Because green dragons traditionally have an acid breath.
I mean, I like the green flame now that we're talking about that.
Right.
Acid hurts, but green flame could just be cool effects.
It would be. It would be cool effects. Just like bright green everywhere.
Yeah, just straight up in the sky.
I dig it. I would dig it for sure. Well, then, let's see. In the career that you're in, otherwise, outside of producing music and shows, what are you passionate about?
So my career is working with music.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. I guess
That's a hard question, right?
it is, because like my world revolves around music everywhere. I don't know, just seeing other people happy, even though I'm working. That's cool. It's rewarding.
Well, that's the best part about being about the music is it shows you all sorts of people who are in different environments, in different spaces, and to be passionate for them, to be passionate about the music and what you create, the energy that you're putting into your craft is a really wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And that passion shows. I've seen you do the Trancesession Radio. I watched quite a few of them myself. And actually, the show that you were speaking of at the Plaza, I actually went down and visited you that day, which was a great time. It was honestly a wonderful thing to get out and spend a little bit, play with some pretty lights in the middle of the day, hang out, and just watch the crowd reactions of people that were wandering through the streets, just passing by, and they're like, all right, now I'm walking through the Grove Plaza here in Boise, and I'm hearing some bangers. This is a good time.
Yeah.
It's like bumping along. Definitely lovely, definitely a good experience, and I'm so glad that you're doing it, and I hope that you continue to do so.
Working on it.
On this path, though, on where you're going, let's just give it a 5-year example. Where do you dream to be? What are your aspirations?
So, I mean, hopefully in 5 years, this has turned into something a little bit more, and we can have our own gear. So that'll help with production costs, and we'll be able to throw more shows, find more places where we can just pop up with a generator and some sound and play until we're done or the cops tell us otherwise. That's happened twice this year on me already.
All right.
It's kind of weird.
I mean, it happens. Sometimes they come to check it down. Sometimes they get a noise complaint. But, hey, the third option is always the most fun, and that's when they decide to hang out and enjoy the music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's always a good time.
And I noticed that on the Grove Plaza, we had a couple walk through and then stop and stay for about a half hour.
Just
and
watching.
Continue back on.
Just chilling. Just hanging out.
Yeah.
And it's not like they had really anything better to do that day. Just hang out and enjoy some music.
Yeah. And it was a nice Saturday afternoon, and they really did have nothing better to do.
All right. Fantastic, my friend. Well, This is once again Ben Golden Heart, Pirates of the Lounge, with our guest Ryan Riley, R2. Check out him online. We'll have some links posted in the description below. Also, if you get the chance, definitely like and subscribe. Also, take a look at our Golden Heart Pirate Shop. We've got some dope t-shirt designs of ourselves as well. See you later, Pirates. Captain Waffle out.